What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Moneyball Mike coming back at you again with another episode of the podcast. Today's guest, we have AntKiller, Ariel Rise, streamer. He's a fucking fantastic human being. You guys will love him. You guys will enjoy it. I really appreciate all the support in the last couple of videos, guys. It means the fucking world to me. And the Twitch live streams have been off the fucking charts. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for the support and keep it coming. You guys will love the episode. I hope you guys all enjoy. And if you want to be a part of the next podcast, leave a comment down below, DM me, and we can see if we can get you in to the podcast. We do have a couple of guys lined up for the next couple of podcasts. So I hope you guys all enjoy. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And thank you, AntKiller, for coming on. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Catch you guys later.
See, I don't know you at all, but I'm about it. If you bout it, don't give a
Sounds good, man.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it, man. So, yep. So let's go to episode 2 of the fucking podcast. We're here with AntKiller. Fucking,
Yeah, what's up?
We're on all these things. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, all that jazz, man. But the first question I'd like to ask to start off is, what made you think of the name AntKiller? And then what was inspiring for you to become a fucking streamer?
All right, so with AntKiller, I used to play World of Warcraft. Well, I still do, but back when I started back in vanilla, I was maybe like 7, 8 years old at the time,
Oh,
and
shit.
I went to go use my real name, Anthony, and my dad used to play WoW at the same time, so we shared an account, and he's like, "No, like delete that character right now. Like never use your real name online." So I mean, all I did was take the first 3 letters of my name, Ant, and then just threw Killer on that. And then it took me like 2 years to realize that it actually was like AntKiller, like because like a guildie of mine like asked me the name, and he's like, "Bro, do you kill ants?" And I was like,
I was gonna
"No."
ask you, bro.
I was like,
I was literally just like, I was sitting there. I was like, man, what kind of question should I ask this guy? And I was like, I'm thinking the first thing, like, damn, he must be an ant killer, bro. He must be killing ants out here, huh? That's
nah, but I mean, now that I've streamed and stuff, like I kind of embrace the name more, like and actually kind of like, you know, like my sub icon and stuff is like a boot smashing an ant, stuff like that. But yeah, whenever I first started it, it was random.
Damn,
but the thing that actually made me like, I don't know, want to start streaming was back in the day, whenever I first started streaming, I used to watch this Twitch streamer who still streams to this day. His name is Tally, and he was a World of Warcraft streamer, and my uncle showed me his stream, so I was watching him, and then it was really cool because Tally, I don't know if you know Lyric, the streamer Lyric, do you know him? Yeah, so Lyric used to be a mod in Tally's stream before he even ever started streaming, and that's who inspired him to start streaming too.
There you go.
So it was just one of those, I saw the community and like how he focused on that, and I was like, I thought that was like the coolest shit ever, that like you could just talk to this many people live, because there's nothing I've ever seen in my life like even did that. So for that year for Christmas, I got really lucky and I got a PC, and then whenever I got that computer, I just never stopped. I just started streaming Minecraft, and that was it.
Yeah,
and
that's what's up.
I would take breaks here and there, but yeah, I've been streaming on Twitch since like 2014. So
wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I like doing it. I'm financially, I'm not even too incentivized, but I mean, I like playing video games, and I like always having friends and stuff like that to talk to and play with. Yeah, that's why I started gaming in the first place. I would game with my brother, my uncle, my dad. So I mean, from then on, like, I mean, gaming has always been in my family, and it was always something that you did with other people, and Twitch was just an online extension of that.
Well, that is the craziest shit, because gaming was not involved in my family at all. It was nothing like that. I remember when I was young, I was playing like Call of Duty, and when we do trick shotting and feeding and all that shit, and it would be like FaZe. You know what FaZe is? Yeah. So I was highly invested in that. I spent fucking hours trying to get money so I can buy the HD PVR to just record my screen and go on YouTube and shit.
Yeah.
But I used to I used to put my phone, or like I used to get like a little camera, and I would set up this fucking white trash like thing that's like pointing right at the TV, and it was like I was like trying my hardest to get it all the way how it's supposed to go and stuff. But dude, I tried.
I feel it.
It was a struggle.
I remember whenever I first started streaming, I wanted like the coolest camera angle ever.
Yes.
Because I don't know if you ever used to watch Reckful streams. I mean,
No.
RIP. But I don't know. There's something about his camera angle where I was like, man, I want something like that on my stream.
Yes.
But I couldn't find any way to actually get like a camera angle like that. You know, I tried the stack in the video games and all that stuff, but it didn't get to the height that I wanted it to. So I took tape and just taped my webcam to the wall, bro. And I got it.
The fucking clutch.
I got it, dude. It was perfect.
I can't tell you how many fucking times I literally have a roll of duct tape right here, just in case if anything happens, bro.
Duct tape, it fixes everything, bro.
It really does.
Everything.
In the military, man, we use duct tape all the fucking time. I swear to God, we duct tapes everything. If something was broken, I remember we were out on a field training exercise and our Humvee light was broken. So then we had to use a flashlight and duct tape it to the front, so it was like a headlight, so we can drive it. Yeah. But Jesus Christ, the duct tape is a fucking clutch up.
It helped so much, bro. So much.
Yeah. So was World of Warcraft your very first game, or what was your very first game you touched?
Oh, dude. So there were a bunch of video games in a very short time period. It was Baldur's Gate. Specifically, it was Baldur's Gate, Dark Alliance 2, Champions of Norath.
Yeah.
Those were like the first RPGs, bro, that I ever touched. That made me fall in love with the genre because they were top-down games, but it was still like I wouldn't even say top-down, kind of like it was like almost top-down, but it was from above. Yeah. And it was up to 4 players in a co-op, and that was one of the games I used to play with like my brother, my dad, and my uncle. And you know, basic RPG, you level up, you know, you get sick gear, bro. They had the whole talent system, all that stuff. Yeah. I mean, there's still games that I downloaded an emulator just to play Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2. Damn. And the game still stands the test of time, bro. It's so good. Awesome. That's but back when I was young, there was another Xbox game called Fusion Frenzy. It was a party game on the Xbox, and it was just a whole bunch of different like mini games. You and 3 other people. Then there was this game, I forget. It was I think the Nintendo 64. It was called Power Stone. I think it was the Sega Dreamcast that we had it on. But yeah, it was like one of the original kind of like Mortal Kombat style games, bro. Yeah. It was kind of like a 3D-ish map, dude, and you would get these like their power stones, and your character, it was like an ultimate, bro. Your character would become like cracked out of their mind, and you would just fucking shit on everybody, dude.
Bro, that's
but yeah, insane. I mean, playing games like that against my brother, it was fun.
Dude, I remember I started gaming in the weirdest environment ever. So I used to go when I was going to church a lot. We had a youth room, and in the youth room we had this Xbox and Halo. And so I would sneak away from the pastor's sermon, and I would sneak away to the youth room and play Halo, while in the next room this pastor's talking about just like, hey, you must be peaceful and all this shit and not cuss. And I'm like, fuck these bullets. Like I'm fucking playing in the next room. Dude, that was the craziest. That was the first time I started playing video games. So
that's awesome. Like, because Halo was one of like the original shooters that I actually I started that made me really love shooters. It was Halo, Gears of War, and then my brother's friend brought out Call of Duty World at War. Those were like the first like 3 first person, well, Gears of War was the third, but the first 3 shooter games that made me just I love first person shooters from then on, dude.
Oh, K9 Live with the subscription, man. I appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. Thank you for the fucking subscription. Welcome to the Thick Boy Squad, brother. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But in middle school, me and my friends, we would right after it was 6th grade, dude. Right after we would come home, dude, and we had Halo 3, and we would just play against each other on custom matches and shit, bro, for hours, dude. Every day, dude. After school, man.
Halo Reach was the fucking foraging and shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh
dude.
my God.
It was I don't know, man. Just good times, bro.
Dude, yeah. That's the thing, man. Like this whole thing with like the coronavirus and all that stuff, man. It really makes you think about like those old fucking times, like just how things were simpler. Like all you gotta do. I remember there's like these Twitter posts of like guys putting out things like, oh, you got this map raid or some from Black Ops 2, and it's like all your boys are on, you're about to play,
Oh yeah,
you got some monsters or something ready to go, and you're just about to grind it out, like, and it's like
dude.
it's winter break and stuff, man.
Oh my
Oh
god,
my
that was
goodness.
Modern Warfare 2 for me, bro. Modern Warfare 2 was like, well, Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. Those were like the
Yes.
specific time periods where I had like a solid ass group of friends, bro,
Yes.
and we would just roll full teams, man, and just play all night
Yes.
long.
That's
Like
it, dude.
dude,
I
there's
miss it.
those are like the time.
I miss it.
Just getting
I still have most of my clips from those times too, like a lot of them.
They were they're some of the best, bro.
Yes,
Like
they are.
honestly though, like with Among Us though coming out, it was like towards the beginning of the pandemic. Well, became popular
Yeah,
towards
yeah.
like the beginning of the pandemic, dude. That was a lot of fun. Just rolling up with 10 people, man, and just playing Among Us all
Dude,
night.
that's
Like that was
awesome.
like that and Fall Guys. Whenever those two games came out, were like
Yeah,
the first time in a long time where I've had like those just multiple hour sessions with just like a big group of friends, bro.
I
And
know,
it just
yeah.
like it was nice. It was
It's
good.
it's refreshing because like there was a time where it was like it was like a dry streak of just games where like, man, this there's no games out
Yeah.
that like that you want to play. But I'm glad like Fall Out Guys came out, Among Us, like those are games like where you bring your friends and you just have a fucking blast, man. That's the stuff. I like it, man. I like
Yeah,
it a lot.
Apex was nice too.
Oh yeah.
Whenever Apex came
Yeah.
out before the first season dropped, I was playing that game
Yeah, dude.
nonstop.
I think I got into it about the first season because my friends were into it. And I was like, yeah, I'll give it a try, man. And I fell in love with it, man, for a while. And then I think I stopped playing it, and I think it was like PUBG or Apex at the time or something like that, or whatever games were out
Yeah,
at the time. But yeah.
H1Z1. Whenever H1Z1
Oh
and
my
PUBG,
god.
whenever those two games were fresh,
Yeah.
bro. Oh my god, dude,
Yeah.
H1Z1 was fun.
That is the craziest thing, man. So what do you got?
Yeah.
What do you got for the future of your channel, man? What do you got? You got anything going on? You got any resolutions of 2021 where you're just gonna be like, I gotta grind this out, man? What are the things you got going on?
So as far as streaming, I'd really like to stream Mythic Rating and WoW. I feel
Uh,
I've never so World of Warcraft. There's like different tiers of like dungeons and stuff like that,
yeah,
and like the hardest tier is Mythic. And like being able, I'd like to be able to stream that and
yeah,
just show like because I mean that's like the top content of the game.
yeah,
Like you really not a lot of people can compete at that level. Um, but yeah, honestly, I'd just say try to shoot for more variety this year with streaming.
yeah.
Not just so like as far as like World of Warcraft, that'd be like the one game I stick to. But now that I got a PS5 for Christmas, bro, and
Hell yeah. Okay.
there's a ton of games that are like single player games that I
Yes.
haven't gone through completely, like God of War,
Yeah.
Detroit Become Human, and just like a bunch of other like Days Gone
Bro.
stuff like that that I just never even got to play before.
Yeah.
That like now I want to play through it on stream, dude.
Dude,
And so stuff like that.
God of War on the PS5 is probably gonna be the braziest fucking thing, dude. That is probably
Dude,
gonna be hella cool.
I started it up just to like kind of see what the game looked like
Yeah.
because I like I saw what it looked like. I had friends with PS4s and they were playing it and stuff, but
Yeah.
I've never actually I loaded it up on the PS5, dude, and I about shit my pants, man. Like
Damn.
the graphics nowadays, dude, on
That's
consoles
crazy.
is just it's
Yeah.
unreal.
Yeah, because I
And
have a PS4 and an Xbox One, and I bought the PS4 specifically for God of War. Dude, I saw that game and I was like,
yeah,
"Fuck, I gotta play it."
I
So
don't blame you, bro.
I'm fucking hyped. I wanna get. I don't know if I even should get it, dude. I feel like I'm just gonna stick with the PC. I don't know. What are
Yeah.
your thoughts on it? So you have it. So what are your thoughts on it
Yeah.
right now?
I mean, honestly, dude, it's good. Like for the sense of like I finally actually have a TV that can play 4K 60 FPS.
Yeah,
So like before, like my one monitor's it's like 4K 30,
yeah,
and then like my main monitor, it's just a 1080 144
yeah.
hertz monitor. So
Okay.
that's like my FPS monitor.
Yeah,
But I whenever we moved to the house in Vegas, it like they from her family, we got a
mhm,
4K 60 FPS TV.
yeah,
So being able to like play games and experience that like 4K 60 FPS, dude,
yeah,
it's unreal. Like so I mean just on that fact alone, I love it, but the I got few games on the horizon that I want to play. So after I play
Yeah.
God of War, the new God of War Ragnarok, like that's gonna be huge to like want to have the
Oh,
PS5.
I forgot about
Uh,
that fucking shit.
there's a
Oh
new
man.
Harry Potter video game coming out that's like an
Yeah.
open world RPG that I really want
Ooh,
to play,
that's gonna be
and
hella good.
that's gonna be another game I play on the console.
Yeah.
And yeah, just like there's a few games like that just coming out that like maybe you don't need to get a PS5 right away, but whenever
Mhm.
those games come out,
Yeah.
like but I mean overall as like an actual console, it's nice. I mean the UI is nice, like
All right. So a
play
lot
like
of
switching between games, you
yeah,
can switch between games like instantaneously,
that's
bro.
fucking
It's
crazy.
crazy.
So okay, so speaking about games, so Cyberpunk came out. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on that? Like, what do you think it was a great launch? Do you think it was a bad launch? Do you think all the glitches fucked it up? Like, what do you think? Because I played it a little bit, but I want to hear what's your opinion on it.
So I haven't played it, I've only watched it, but
Okay.
I've watched it for a good amount of hours, so I feel like I do have like I have a good opinion on
Yeah.
it. But so I was on the hype train for Cyberpunk,
Oh
and
hell yeah.
then I was gonna wait to buy it, like, until it actually was gonna come out, and then whenever they delayed it for the month, like, the
Yeah.
most recent delay,
Yeah.
I was like, "Alright, even with this delay, I know that you can't fix that many things in a video game in just,
Yeah.
like, a month or, like, 2 months." So I was just like, "I'm not gonna buy it now." Like, that I made my decision right there, I was just
Really?
gonna
Okay.
wait. Yeah. So I never bought it, and then I started watching streams and stuff like that, and I feel like overall the game's good, like, the
Hmm.
story from what I've seen is really good, the gameplay looks fun,
Yeah.
but I feel like the game needed more polished, and I feel like the older gen consoles did get kinda used and abused
Yeah.
through this
So
whole situation.
I feel like I feel like they just did a terrible time at the launch because
Yeah,
I feel like they shouldn't have done it right. Kind of like when PS5s were coming out, Xbox what Xbox X or whatever was coming out. I feel like they just fucked
yeah,
the people over, and I feel like that 1 month gap may probably have made a difference. Or I don't know, man.
yeah,
I played I'd say about like 2 to 3 hours of it. The gameplay is fantastic. I love the storyline. It's very
yeah.
different. It's nothing I've ever seen before. It's really different. I like it. There is a lot of glitches though. There's a lot of fucking mixes up there. Oh,
Yeah, no,
I
I know
run
what you mean, I've seen 'em.
people driving in no cars and shit. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Or, like, I've seen glitches of people, like, they're driving and then their, like, body's, like, T-posing above the
Oh
car, like
yeah.
like, yeah, I don't know, just absolutely, like, ridiculous
Yeah, it's
stuff,
some
bro.
funny shit. But yeah, I overall, I mean, like, it's a pretty fucking out there game. Like, it's probably something a lot more different from GTA. But
Yeah,
I see what they did there. I respect what they did. But if they asked for another push on it, maybe to come like like you said, polish it up a little bit more. I feel like
yeah,
they would have. I feel like the game would have been top notch. But the
yeah.
numbers out when they came out with that, dude, they killed it. They knocked out some records I've never even seen before.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, the game from trailers and stuff looked amazing.
Oh
And
yeah.
like I said, even watching it, like the game looks good, but I just feel like they honestly should have optimized it for the older consoles. And
Uh
like I
huh.
do understand it is like a next gen game, but
Oh hell yeah, it is.
there's things that definitely could have been done. But I mean, overall, as far besides that, and by like I feel like the glitches are manageable
Yeah.
for that type of like because I mean, whenever games like they push the envelope in any direction,
Hmm.
there's gonna be kind of like hiccups somewhere, and I mean, it just happens. But it just the thing is now is like how fast do they fix this stuff,
Yeah.
and like that's I mean that's really all that because like No Man's Sky, that game came out and it was
Oh
terrible,
yeah. I remember
but
that.
they've dedicated like 2 straight years of trying to make the game better, and
Hmm.
now the game's amazing. I
I
don't
see.
know if
Yeah,
you've
I've
played
seen
No
people
Man's
do
Sky
it.
recently,
No,
but
I've watched it, but I've seen people like hop
it's
onto it too.
it's definitely not like for the genre, it's amazing, but it's not like a game where I feel like they still have like a major piece missing, whether it's like more story or like a more immersive story or
Hmm.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall though, it's a really good game,
Yeah.
and but if you would have told me that whenever they released it, I would have laughed at you. But I mean, it is possible that
Yeah.
like it's just what direction do they take? And if I remember correctly, these are the same people that made Witcher 3, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, they have a good
Witcher
track
3 was
record.
a hella. The Witcher
Yeah,
series is fucking. I love it, man. It's just like Skyrim with me. Like it's like I fucking love Skyrim. I love Witcher 3. They all just seem the same to me, but dude, they're all the fucking great ass fucking games, man.
Yeah, and it's just so I mean, I know that they can do great things, but it's
Mhm.
just one of those. I mean, sometimes you mess up. It's just how can they recover from it? And
Yeah.
I mean, that's where you're gonna. I mean, I feel personally you're gonna really see the direction of
Yeah.
like not just Cyberpunk, but like any future game like made by them.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
and that's. But I mean, overall, I mean, it was a great
Yeah.
launch. I mean, all things considered, they
Yeah,
killed it.
it
Like,
was it was a fucking great launch. They had millions of copies sold. Like it's
I
insane.
mean. You can tell generally, like, if you just look at Twitch and just look at, like, who's watching what,
Yeah.
like, and it's like
Yeah,
when
it
Cyberpunk comes out, it's
fucking
just, like,
killed it, dude.
ridiculous. So, I mean, they did
Fucking
good.
killed it. Yeah. So okay, so FaZe Banks came out with this statement before, I think it was before Cyberpunk got released. He said one of the reporters was like, should someone so as a former gamer, and I don't know if he games a lot more, but he's pretty off the edge right now. But
Yeah.
he said, what are you gonna buy, a PS5 or an Xbox? And he said, fuck both of them, buy a PC. Do you
Oh,
think?
yeah, I saw that
Yeah,
video.
yeah. So do you
Yeah.
think that is a accurate statement to a point where like PC has gone to a point where it's easier to buy? It's a whole lot more more, I would just say better than actually getting a console, because you can do way more with a PC than you can with a console. But what is your thought on that? And do you think that's a good idea, or do you think that's like someone should probably just stick with a console?
So, I feel like it all depends. So, like, to begin with that, though, I've been a PC gamer for probably the last, I wanna say, like, 8 years, maybe?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
8, almost 9
That's
years. So,
longer
I
than I
mean,
have.
like
Yeah.
so a better almost half my life I've been on PC gaming. And so I made the switch from console to PC. And I mean, just whenever I switched to PC and I had a keyboard and mouse for the first time, like, and used it like actually in games, not
Yeah.
just schoolwork or whatever, dude, like it was over. I
Mhm.
really, I
Yeah.
mean, I still had consoles and like
Yeah.
obviously I have the PS5. So I feel like if you have the money, obviously everybody would want to choose both. But
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to choose 100% one or the other, I would choose PC like
Yeah.
all day, every day.
Yeah.
Just because, like you were saying, like as much, like so much more to do. But like on PC, you're always going to get a better deal on any game you buy on
Yep.
PC through different websites or whatever. Like
Hmm.
you're always going to, so you're going to be able to game cheaper. If
Yeah.
you ever need to upgrade it at all, you can literally just upgrade it 50 to $100 at a time instead of just going out and buying a new console for $500,
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
just get that new graphics card or you get a new motherboard now and you
Hmm.
just so it's something you can continuously build on forever.
Yeah.
And then like I still have like even though I've changed out the complete like inside of this PC right here. Oh, well, let me move that behind. But yeah, so
Oh
this PC
shit.
right here. So I've had this case for literally since I started 8 9 years ago. It says
Oh
right here,
wow.
AntKiller's computer. I don't know if you can see it wrong way, but right
Oh
there
yeah. I see it.
it says AntKiller's computer. So I've had that
Damn.
for like literally since I started gaming.
That's fucking awesome,
So,
dude.
but the thing is that the insides of it, they've changed maybe 3 4 times in that
Yeah.
same span. But it's the same thing, and you can't do that with a console. I mean, like that
I know.
right
Yeah, you
there
can't.
is like my biggest, I'd say, thing on it is just the fact of how permanent any game you buy. I know they do backwards compatibility now on
Yeah.
most games,
Yeah.
but if you were a gamer since, let's say, PS2 or PS3, you have every single game you ever bought with them,
Yeah.
and you can't do that with console. I mean, you would have to keep the console, but with this,
Yes.
even if
Exactly.
you get a even if you get a new hard drive or whatever, you have Steam and you just re-download the game.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Exactly, dude. It's just like it's. Yeah. I just feel like play. So having good experience with both a console and a PC.
yeah,
I played console for fucking ever. I played it forever. Now having a PC, I would go. If I had to redo it, I would invest most of my time getting a PC because one, they're way more powerful. Two, you can do a lot more things, like we both said, and
yeah,
three, this is the huge thing: you can still use a controller with a PC.
yeah,
So
that
like that
too.
is the biggest thing for me. Like as long as I can play Call of Duty on my PC without using keyboard and mouse, dude, I'm chilling. Because that's all I play
Eh,
Call of Duty with a controller.
And I'd say, well, probably another huge thing towards PC would just be on the fact of it's not just for gaming. You
Mm,
can Photoshop and create content on it.
yes.
You can video call and what we're doing right now, like,
Yes.
and I mean everything is just so much at more at your fingertips, and
Mm,
there's no hurdles to jump over. Whatever you want to do with the PC, I mean, you can do it.
it's
And I mean,
crazy.
just that fact of just not having limitations is probably the biggest, I'd say my biggest go and pro for PC. But I mean, consoles have their place, like certain exclusive titles. I
Yeah.
mean, just the ease of access. You just turn it on, you jump right into a video game. You're only
Yeah.
playing for a little bit. I mean, I don't know. It's just
That's
I,
exactly it. So how long have you been Aerial Rising? So I joined, I'd say about 3 months ago. And I remember, oh, this is the one question I actually had. So
yeah.
I looked at, I was watching your stream about, I think it was 2 months ago, maybe three or 2 months ago. And you had this transition into, I think, a basketball shot, or it was like a dunk or something, or
Oh yeah, my dunk
yeah,
cam.
yes.
Yeah.
What inspired you to do that? Because I thought that was a fucking creative idea. I've never seen anyone do it, and I looked. I was like, damn, this guy. That's pretty fucking awesome. I'd never seen anything like that. What made you think of that? And like, what was it?
So that's like probably like the fourth iteration of my dunk cam. So it started off back in, I think, like 2018. I was
Yeah.
playing Sea of Thieves, and it was back whenever like Summit was playing Sea of Thieves a lot.
Oh yeah.
So, and I would always like, I would always dunk on kids. Like I would just like
Yeah.
say, like, I said, like, people would be like, oh, you dunked on, like shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, all right, so whenever I actually do dunk on them, I'm just gonna dunk on them in real life too, kind of thing. And so
Yeah.
I was like in a little office space, put the dunk cam on a door. I just got one of those, and then I just dunked. And like now it's a lot. I don't know. I'd say better production value, but like I have a green screen now, so you have like the arena and like
That's
Michael
great,
Jordan
dude.
like trying
That's
to
fucking
block you.
awesome.
Like the actual dunk thing is like screwed into my wall, so it's never fallen off.
That's
And
great.
then like now I have that flat screen, which is like the wall of fame. Like so,
Yeah.
I have a point system, and you can redeem your name to be on the TV.
Yeah.
So it used to be I'd write your name on a giant thing of poster board and I put the poster board on my wall. So I just had a bunch of names written on
Yeah.
my wall and stuff like
That's
that on
awesome,
poster
dude.
board.
Holy shit.
But whenever I moved, I converted that into the TV, and now it's like a slideshow of like it's like three
That's
names
awesome, dude.
per like slide, and like you can like if you redeem it, you can customize your name to whatever you want it, and I'll
Yeah.
do it for you like in Photoshop, and then make that your name. So it's like, I don't know, it's just something that started out just as a joke, and now
Yeah.
it's like an actual way I can show my thanks, because I don't know. I think even
Yeah.
something as small as just having someone who supports you name like in the actual stream just makes it that
Exactly.
much more like,
Yeah.
I don't know, cool. That's
It's
just
it's little things that
I
go
don't
really
know.
far. Little things go really
Yeah.
far like that.
So that was just something. So it
Yeah.
started out literally just as a joke, and then just
Mm.
it's just kind of grown and grown just with everything.
So for a guy that's been streaming for a very, very long time, and you've been doing it longer than I have, and you also have been on Twitch longer than I have. I've only been on here for I think till like 2017, 2016. I've been watching streams and stuff
Okay.
like that. But in the direction that Twitch is going, do you think it is going to be here within the next, I'd say, 5 to 10 years? Do you think it's something else going to take over? Do you think YouTube will take over, or do you think Twitch will become the power, just the fucking power?
So I feel like Twitch is probably at a crossroads right now, and depending on how they deal with this next year is probably going to be like determining like what
Mhm.
crossroad they kind of go down.
Yeah.
So like I just checked my name. So I've been on Twitch since July 27th, 2012. So
Oh shit. Okay.
I've been here. There were a lot more people on than me. They used to stream on Justin.tv,
Oh yeah, I
and
remember those
whenever
days too.
Twitch came out, they switched over to that. And so I started watching Twitch after that whole change. So I haven't been watching streaming forever, but I mean I've been
Mm.
watching for a long time.
Yeah.
But like watching it grow, there was like a real, community in Twitch. And I
Yeah.
still feel like the number one thing Twitch still has to this day is the community.
Mhm.
And that's like really hard to get rid of. So like
Yeah.
Now, if Twitch is going to grow a lot or not, that's just going to be dependent on how they handle their PR better.
Hmm.
If they actually start making things more enjoyable for the viewer, like with how they're kind of forcing ads down viewers'
Yeah,
throats a little bit
exactly.
more
Yeah.
recently.
Hmm.
Like if they start focusing on lessening the viewer's experience and like not enhance it like they used to always try to, whether it was make a better delay, like delay used to be like 15-20 seconds
Hmm.
compared to now you really can't tell there's a delay anymore,
Yeah.
and I mean that's huge. um, so and just like a better chat, emotes, all that stuff, that was all things that Twitch, even though emotes were always a thing, Twitch added their own custom community emotes,
Yeah.
and I feel like that was huge on
Uh-huh.
like helping build the culture. And I feel like they're not really focusing on the culture anymore and they're focusing more on money. So
Yeah.
I feel like if they start focusing on the culture and the community that they've created as like a whole, I feel like that's definitely like take the toxic parts out of that community and then let it grow. I
Yeah.
feel like long term it will help. Like they might take a financial hit initially because they're not going 100% profit,
Mm.
but it will allow Twitch to grow and then in turn make them more money down the road. So I just feel like as long as they're not thinking short-sighted and actually try to fix some of the problems they have, I
Yeah.
feel like they will stay number one. But if they keep kind of making the community mad,
Yep.
worsening viewers' experiences, making bigger streamers, smaller streamer, mid-tier streamers mad at
Yeah.
Twitch and not wanting to stream on their platform anymore, I feel like that's where YouTube would really take it all.
Yeah.
Because I feel like YouTube, if they make like a dedicated streaming like UI and actually had like a better live stream experience
Hmm.
and made it a lot easier to discover streamers if they're live, I feel like those three things right there would make viewers switch from watching Twitch to YouTube. And I mean, like, the only thing that like would further that point would be that everybody has a YouTube, but not
Yeah.
everybody has a Twitch.
Yeah.
So Twitch has that problem of bringing people over from YouTube, to whereas
Mhm.
YouTube already has those people as an audience. All they have to do is make why people are leaving YouTube for Twitch. If they fix that part and nobody wants to leave YouTube anymore, and they'll just keep that open,
Yeah.
that app open the entire time, then Twitch would be
I
it'd
think
be
the one thing
done.
that Twitch has is, so because I think it's a great example. Mixer tried to do this own
Yeah.
thing, and they cannot compete with Twitch because one, it's just a tradition thing. Like gamers are into that. Like where I came from, that's what I'm doing, and that's how I'm doing. I'm not changing it. And so that's one thing I think Twitch has. A lot of people are not going to move on because they don't want to move on. This is where they started. This is
Yeah.
where they want to end it. Like that's how it is with gamers. I feel like because new games come out from these like for example, Call of Duty had great games: COD 4, MW2,
Yeah.
Black Ops 2, and then MW3 was all right, and then it started to go downhill. It went downhill, but they still had people buying their stuff because it was a tradition, like it was their thing. Like they wanted to keep going and they wanted to just have it keep going. So with
Yeah.
that thing, gamers are always going to be around. They're going to keep doing that.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just feel like streaming will always be a service, and
Yeah.
I feel like streaming eventually is going to evolve into something crazy. You already kind of see it with certain people like Dr. Disrespect and like
Yes.
just other, not just Dr. Disrespect, but there are people that use Twitch not just for streaming gaming, and they add, or if they are streaming gaming, they're adding such a level of entertainment that
Hmm.
you're not really watching them for the
That's
gameplay
yes.
anymore, and you're just watching them for a sole personality like a TV host or
Hmm.
something.
Yes.
Like that's where like I feel like Twitch could really excel at. And I feel like if Twitch doesn't foster that environment for those type of people, they're gonna go somewhere else. And I
Yeah.
feel like a YouTube would love to have, obviously they took Dr. Disrespect kind of,
Yep.
like they would love to have somebody like that. And I feel like as that kind of, if that keeps happening to where talent, like, because streamers are talent, like
Yes.
whether they're entertainment or whether they're just raw gameplay, they're a talent just like a football player or
Hmm.
anything else. And if they don't feel like Twitch is their best interest anymore, then you're going to see it like we've already seen it a lot of times, and just
Yep.
more and more people are going to start
Start
leaving.
leaving
And
exactly.
then And then once that happens to where there's no more like big talent on Twitch anymore, then it's just gonna die because
So
nobody's gonna want to watch subpar
yeah.
content when they can go to YouTube or whatever streaming service takes place and can watch it there.
So
And
do you believe the thing with Doctor Disrespect where he got his contract canceled due to Shroud and Ninja coming back? They needed more room for him. Do you believe that, or do you think that Doctor Disrespect did something? He doesn't want to disclose it, and Doctor Disrespect's got something over Twitch. So if they do disclose it, that there's going to be a big lawsuit against him. But what do you think happened there? Because what I personally think happened was either because Twitch will not just ban their biggest person out of nowhere, and they're not going to
yeah.
give them an example why. So what I feel like happened was Twitch or Dr. Disrespect, they just had this little thing or something like that, and then now they're not going to disclose it. But what do you really think happened there?
So the only thing that I always found weird, and I actually never heard that first part, that they dropped Doctor Disrespect for
Oh
Shroud
really?
and Ninja. I Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never heard that before,
Oh yeah.
but I I don't. I could see that potentially being because I mean, if you go back to where I was saying like talent, like a football player or something.
Yeah.
I mean, NFL teams they'll drop certain players if they feel like the other players they're picking up are going to
Mhm.
do better
Yeah.
for their for their
Yeah.
team. So I feel like in a sense like that, it could be true.
Yeah.
But the only thing I always found weird about the Doctor Disrespect thing was that Twitch never said a single word about it. And
That's the
that's the
weird thing.
only thing that makes me believe that it is something legally. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's a contract breaking or
Mhm.
anything along those lines, but I feel like maybe Twitch wasn't paying Doctor Disrespect on like allowment. Like if there was like a
Yeah.
tier structure of like if he hit 50,000 subs, he earns this much, and then he hit 50,000 subs,
Yeah.
but Twitch didn't pay him out the extra. I don't even know if it was
Exactly. Yeah.
something like that. But if there was anything at foul play on either of those sides, I could see that as a likely possibility.
Yeah.
But I mean, Twitch has banned their top people before, but they always give a reason and it's
Mhm.
not permanent.
Yeah. That's what's
And
weird. I don't
Doctor
know.
Disrespect, they didn't give a reason and it was permanent. So
Yeah.
that's where I just a weird situation all in all. Like
Yeah. Another
that
thing is
there's
it's
just
like it's a business too. It's like
yeah.
you got people don't really like that's weird to think about. Like sports is a business, gaming is a business. Like there's
Yeah.
business behind all of this, and so there's a reason.
And
Yeah. So
And I feel like it's one of those things too where we're not talking thousands of dollars, like we're talking millions and millions and millions of dollars
yeah.
to where like this is like it's big boy money, you know?
Yeah.
Like this
That
is
is.
a whole different realm of like if Dr. Disrespect or Twitch is getting
Oh shit.
hurt on a deal
Give me
or
one
something
second.
like
Hold on.
that,
Sorry.
you know.
My thing just stopped the audio for a second. Give us a story of something while this thing does
Oh,
this.
hello, can you
Oh,
hear me?
there we go. Yeah.
Okay,
Perfect.
sweet.
All right. Continue.
So I feel like if there was foul play involved on both sides, it would be instantly lawyered up, and yeah, nobody would hear about it until it's over. I feel like this is something we like everybody, like the general public, will get a lot of clarity on.
Yeah.
Probably, a year, 2 years down the line, it'll probably happen out of nowhere, but there's probably a court hearing and stuff like that, and a trial going on right
Oh
now,
yeah. There's
and we
probably a
probably,
bunch.
we probably have nothing going on. I mean, it's probably a big lawsuit
Mhm.
on either end, but I mean, I feel like something like that won't come out until it's kind of over.
I think it's just
And
crazy. He is the probably one of the biggest entertainers on the internet, and
yeah, and
he's has just that fucking thing that makes everyone keep watching him. And I think it's incredible how Twitch just decided to go ahead and permanently ban him without any
yeah.
notice or nothing.
And I mean, like, it's just really weird because from Twitch's standpoint, it's like how much how much are they gaining for banning Dr. Disrespect? Because they're
Yeah.
losing a lot. Like even if you just look at Dr. Disrespect's raw numbers, but I mean the viewers of Dr. Disrespect, once he closes his stream, they're going to check out other
Yeah.
streamers and stuff like that. So you're not only losing the viewers for Dr. Disrespect, but all these other viewers where they would go watch. But now that those viewers are on YouTube, they're not going to Twitch as much. And so
Mm.
it's like Twitch is losing a lot more than just kind of like Dr. Disrespect. And it's
Yeah. It's
wild.
just it's insane. That guy is just on another level. He's got another agenda, and it's actually just incredible how just and talented he is in that sort of that area.
And it's
But
awesome too because how I feel like he gained a larger audience switching to YouTube though. Like, I
oh
mean, it's
yeah, he did.
understandable
Yeah,
but it's like it's one of those things where it's like he's thriving and
yeah,
like
yeah,
it was like the Twitch thing barely even dented him. Like, and
dude.
he's still going, still
Yeah,
pushing out the same content he would be pushing out on Twitch, but I feel like it's even better now, and it's crazy.
he literally live streamed for an hour on YouTube, and he had over 100,000 people watching, and it was just his Lambo sitting at a gas station with music playing. It's
Yeah.
just like a radio
Oh, no, I
station.
remember that. Yeah.
And it was
It
just like,
was
what the like? This guy is breaking records. He's not even on. He's just his music's playing, and it's like, what? That doesn't make any fucking
I know.
sense. That's the
And
craziest shit.
it's wild that like just to see even like Twitch just get to that point and just like streaming in general. Like, I mean, the type of not even just Twitch, but like YouTube and other forms of social media, like the amount of content and like the quality of content pushed out
Yeah.
now is just through the roof
Oh,
compared to
it's
even like 5 years ago. I
yeah,
mean, even someone like Mr. Beast, you would never even of in a million years, I would have never thought that somebody like that would have even existed. Like the
yeah.
type of like just level of content that these people are pushing out on a regular basis, just it blows my mind. Like,
What do you think caused that? Because it changed really rapidly to the content that to like just showing the screen of what you're recording to starting to add a camera, and then all of a sudden we have these effects going on, we have these transitions, we have music playing in the
yeah.
background, all these overlays, like high quality cameras. What do you think made that happen? Was it the technology, or do you think people realized, oh, I can put this with this, boom, making that shit? What do you think really happened there?
So I feel like there's two things. So the first part I would say would be that um that the cost, like the barrier of entry to content creation and streaming is so low now compared to what it was 10 years ago, 20
Yeah.
years ago. Like, you know what I mean? And the quality of those products are way better. Like you
Mm,
used to be able to do what, like 720p, 30 FPS on your HD PVR. Like
exactly. Yeah.
it was, or maybe like some people were doing the 480p or like the even just the base quality of recording was so
Yeah.
bad. And now you
Yeah.
have people shooting 10K, 8K videos, and like people have monitors and internet quality to match that. And I just feel like because technology got so good
Yeah.
and the barrier of entry is so low, you have a lot more people able to actually create content.
Yeah.
And then I feel like a side effect that, I mean, so you have people that personally want to just create content, so
Yeah.
that's like their passion in life that they can do that. And then I feel like you have the secondary effect of people wanting to do it for money.
Yep.
Like whenever people realize, okay, I can make a career out of this. Oh wait, it's not just a career, I'm living a really comfortable life, and my job I can pick up and go anywhere. So
Yeah.
not only are you making a good amount of money, you can create that kind of content literally anywhere,
Hmm.
so you're not tied down to anywhere. Like to have it's almost like a dream job for a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, for that kind of aspiration, and it's not laughable, like, you know, like
I
there's
know.
a
Yeah. That's
like
insane.
I
It used
feel
to be laughable.
like someone saying they want to be a YouTuber or a streamer is less laughable than someone who wants to become an actor or actress. Like
Mhm.
it's like the same, like there's a genuine respect, and a lot of it has to come with that these people aren't making pennies, they're making hundreds of thousands to
Fucking
millions of dollars. So I feel
bands.
like whenever you count both of those things, I feel like everything's just all that competition just kind of you
Yes.
always have to be better than somebody else if you want to be at the top. So and that just thrive creates all that innovation
Yeah.
and content creating.
I
Like, I
think.
mean, you have people literally breaking it down to where they're watching their YouTube videos and they're like, "Oh, there's a huge drop off spike in
Yeah.
viewership right here. What was
Yep.
I doing at that time in this video? Okay, let me never do that again, and let's create something more that'll create their attention." So people
Exactly.
are literally turning content creation into a science, and that's something that
That's
that didn't exist 10 years ago. Like,
it's literally turning into like film. Like all right, what
yeah,
is this guy doing that I can improve upon and stuff like that. What I also think happened was a lot of the technology was more available for the common person. Like I
yeah,
remember how expensive the HD PVR was when I was younger, and
yeah,
I was like, damn, this is gonna be a fuck ton of money. How are people streaming with all this shit when it's all so expensive like that? But I think it became so. I think the products were able to come out faster. They were able to do certain things
yeah.
faster, and then all right, we can lower the price and we get this shipped out a lot more, that's
And
just crazy.
it's just insane in the aspect of that, like the quality of audio and the quality of just everything is just so much better than it was, that I mean, it's a lot easier to make things. I
Uh,
like, in the sense of like, if you want to edit your video, or if you want to make a thumbnail for yourself, you can go on the computer and make yourself something in under an hour. And before, you would need somebody with like a graphic design degree or whatever to make,
exactly.
and it's like, so now the everyday person, if they learn, they can do their own things. And then you have also, I feel like this leads to like better videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's not just one person working on a video anymore. Like, whenever, especially whenever you get to the higher level, but I mean, even
Yes.
just general everyday streamers, they'll have an editor, they'll have someone who makes their thumbnail. So this type of content, it's not just one person focusing anymore. You have
Exactly.
very skilled and talented people all coming together, and you have like 3 4, I mean, sometimes 10 20 different people working on one video, compared to just like a person saying, hey guys, AntKiller here, like with a vlog, or like, like
Exactly.
something
Isn't
like
that
that. Like,
crazy? That's just the
it's just
craziest thing, man.
it's a different era, but I mean,
It
I
really
loved it
is, man.
because, in the sense of like, as a viewer, I mean, it's
Yeah.
amazing, like the
I
type
think
of videos you come across with the streams and just
yes.
the different personalities. It's
Yeah.
just it's at
It's just
the highest level I think it's ever been.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
insane. It's pretty fucking incredible. So with Arrow Rising, okay. So the reason
Yeah.
so the reason why I want to do this podcast to bring this really together is like I don't know any of the other streamers. By any chance, do you know any other streamer that you're pretty like do you talk to with like a regular basis at Arrow Rising at all?
Yeah, so Mean Streak, not so much anymore, just because he hasn't been streaming too much, but me and him would talk daily, and we
Yeah.
would play a lot of games together. I used to play a lot of Valorant with Ethan.
Okay.
Nakia
Yeah.
is his Twitch, but he's no longer a member of Rise. King Latifah, I've played a lot of Apex with him.
Oh
He,
yeah. Seems like a great guy,
what,
man.
but yeah, he's cool, funny. We
Yeah.
played, and then Rich, One Shot Rich.
Yeah.
I was like, I helped him like get into the org originally. I think it was like back when it was when Battalion 19, I forget what it was called, but Battalion, like 1944 Battalion, whatever, whenever
Yeah.
Battalion came out. You remember
Uh
that game? There was like a
no, actually
CS:GO Call
no.
of Duty yeah, so it's like a 5v5, like CS:GO kind of Call of
Oh, okay.
Duty kind of shooting,
All
and it
right.
was really popular for like 3 weeks, and then the community just died.
Okay.
So I met One Shot Rich between that, and we grinded out like all 3 weeks of that game
Yeah.
together. So, and then after that, that's whenever he got introduced to Ariel and then ended up joining.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are like, and then I've joined Voltron's whenever he was streaming a lot.
Mhm.
I joined his stream a lot and talked to him a little bit. But yeah, those are all the people that
Yeah.
general
Shit,
I've
my
played
audio
video
fucked up
games with
again.
before, got to know.
But here, answer this question too. So I'm just gonna keep talking until this thing's done. So basically what I wanted to do was I wanted to first I wanted to actually ask all the Aerial Rising streamers to like come on to the show so I can talk to them and get to know them more and like get to know basically my teammates and get to know them like to a level where oh yeah let's do this together, let's create this together, let's make content together so we
that's
can
really
all
cool.
grow as one. So the whole point I wanted to actually give that out to I think Rusty, right? Rusty's the CEO or is it?
Yeah, I mean, he was the
Yeah.
one. He's
So
one of the
I wanted to give it to him and I wanted just to bring us all together and then I was thinking about wait, instead of doing it with Aerial Rising, what if I just do it with a bunch of just smaller streamers and get to know every single one of them, make content with them and just get to know them.
because the idea of like an Aerial Rise podcast was thrown out there before, but nobody ever actually took it upon themselves. Like, I'm talking like this had to be like a year
Mm.
and a half ago, whenever that idea was brought up,
One
but
second.
nobody's ever actually
We got
pulled the
20
trigger.
seconds for this thing to come back on.
Oh, okay.
1918.
What
But
is
yeah,
your
that's what I,
record?
that's what
Is there a recording
that was my
thing?
main focus. Because that's the whole reason, the dunk cam thing. I saw that, I was like, damn, you are
Yeah.
just a unique guy, and I wanted to get to know you. I wanted to get to know more about you and see what you like and what you do out. That's another thing. What do you do outside of streaming? That
So
There we
I've
go.
worked a full-time job. So I'm working. I go in most days 8 o'clock, 8:30.
Mm.
But some days I have to go in earlier. Some days I get to go in at like 9. But I sell construction supplies out here in Vegas.
Oh, okay.
And if you've ever been to Vegas, it's not short of construction. So
Yeah.
I do that. I do that about like, anywhere between like 8, 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
And then I'm on call on the weekends, but I generally don't have to get called in. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I do that. I golf. I just got into golf whenever I moved to Vegas.
Uh-huh.
So I've been doing that like either on Saturday or Sunday every week. And then, chilling, just got engaged to my fiance.
There you
So
go, dude.
we've been I like to watch TV shows. We actually just started watching NCIS last night because
Oh, NCIS. I
she
love that
had
show.
an itch to like want to watch like a cop show. And so I was like, all right, what are you feeling? And she's like, how about NCIS? So we watched 2 episodes of that. And I mean, I've caught like bits and pieces of episodes before, but it was like the
Yeah.
first time I actually like sat down because my family was a CSI. Like we loved
Oh,
watching
okay.
CSI.
Yeah.
So I've never watched NCIS, but now that we watched 2 episodes, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm
Gibbs
down to give
Gibbs
this
is a
a
guy.
try.
Gibbs
It's
is the
fun.
fucking man, dude. Gibbs. I love
Yeah,
that guy.
he is.
Yeah.
Dude, Ducky's hilarious too.
Dude, Ducky
He was, like his type of humor, bro. It's just
Yeah.
like that. It's funny.
Talking to
But,
dead people. What a weirdo. that must be a crazy job, working in for a morgue and then just doing that and work with dead people. That must be the craziest.
Oh, I
fucking
know.
thing.
I
Seeing
mean,
dead
there's
bodies all
got to
the
be
time.
a certain level of just like a desensitization or just
Oh,
like
yeah, probably.
it's either that or they probably have like the best humor of all time. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? People with that dark humor.
Yes, the dark
Like
humor.
they
Yep.
probably got
That's
some
the
they probably have some seriously dark humor, man.
probably,
But
dude.
yeah, and then so I originally whenever I started when I was like 10 years old, I used to do martial arts, and that used
There
to
you
take
go.
up a huge chunk of my life. Like it
Yeah.
was 4 days a week, about 3 or 4 hours for each of the nights. I went for literally like it was like 10, 11 years of my life. And then I finally slowed it down for like another year. So I've been doing it for like a total of 12 years. Well, I did do it for a total of like 12 years, but
What type of martial arts?
so I started, it was at a Olympic Taekwondo gym. And
Okay.
so I got my 2nd-degree black belt in Taekwondo.
Woo!
And then that gym also brought in Muay Thai. They had like Muay Thai teachers and stuff like that,
Yeah.
like as their side. So like the Taekwondo part was huge, but then they had Muay Thai instructors and it was pretty big. Like
Mhm.
the school, it was in Ohio. I mean, it doesn't matter. I don't live there anymore. It was called Asian
Yeah.
Sun. If you ever want
Okay.
to look them up, they do go to the Olympics in Taekwondo fighting. So
Really?
like, yeah, you
That's
will.
impressive.
It's a very competitive school. So it was like 6 or 7 schools in Ohio, and each school had anywhere between 80 kids to like 200 kids that were
Wow. Okay.
that were extremely active. You know what I mean? I'm not
That's
just saying like the
incredible.
once a monthers, but people that actually went to the
Yeah.
schools very regularly.
Yeah.
But so they had like I used to compete in tournaments inter school, but I never
Mhm.
did anything outside of the thing because I like Taekwondo, but it wasn't crazy because so I got my 2nd-degree black belt in Taekwondo. And then whenever I got my 1st-degree black belt in Taekwondo, I started doing Muay Thai.
Yeah.
And then I got my 2nd-degree black belt in Muay Thai through there. And then my dad got his 2nd-degree black belt in Muay Thai there too.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
and then he got offered a position to be an instructor at another gym that was like 20
Wow.
minutes from our house. And it was a perfect gym because they did like, it was a karate centered like martial art gym,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
it was karate with like a mixed martial arts thing. Like they had black belts in jujitsus that were
Yeah.
teachers. So they had their own jujitsu gym.
Yeah.
That was part of that. And then they had the stand-up part of it too, that was led by Originally, before he passed away, it was a 5th-degree black belt in
Uh,
karate.
that's
And
incredible,
then
man.
after he passed away, the next highest rank, they had 2 4th-degree black belts. And
Wow.
then they also, that was just inside the gym. So they also had like instructors that were above them outside the gym,
Yeah.
but actually inside the gym, that was like the top level of like the pool of martial art there. And through that gym, my dad and I, we got our 3rd-degree black belts together
Mhm.
through there. And
That's
then
incredible.
that made me fall in love with jujitsu. And then I did jujitsu for about 2 years before I was just kind of like, all right, I think I'm kind of just done with martial arts for a little bit. And
Yeah.
then, and then so that's whenever I started taking streaming seriously,
Yeah.
because I always streamed like on the side and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to give streaming a real run for at least a year,
Yeah.
and I did that. It was from it was like late 2018 to early 2019. I
Mhm.
streamed for, it was a solid
Mhm.
year run. But yeah.
So for smaller streamers like us, what do you think is one thing that grows a fan base, that grows a community, grows all these certain things, and actually kind of makes you successful to become an affiliate or maybe even head towards a partnership? Like, what are like a couple of things that you may have picked up along the way that have made like, man, this actually works. Oh, this doesn't work, but this might work. Like, what are some things you can tell some of these people that are looking to get into streaming or looking to start a stream up or actually having time to have people watch them? What do you think they should be interested in or more engaging on in their streams and stuff like that?
So I'd say probably the most important, I'd say there's probably like 3 really important things to growing as a streamer. And I mean, I'm by no means huge or anything, but
Hmm.
this is just what I've seen over
Yeah.
the years, that
Yeah.
people who did get successful is like they completely embraced their personality. Like
Yeah.
whoever they are as a person. I don't even mean they're like the funniest person ever or whatever, but they are just themselves. That's all it is, because they stuck with it, and then they consistently acted like
Hmm.
that throughout their whole career, and they
Yes.
never changed, and people grew to love their personality,
There
and
you
a lot
go.
of people did. So that I'd say that's probably like the number one, even though it's corny, but it is true. Like I mean,
No,
you got to be yourself. Like you
I've
can't be
seen I've
fake.
seen it too.
Like even Dr. Disrespect is a personification. Like it,
Mhm.
there are attributes and personality traits of Dr. Disrespect that the guy who plays Dr. Disrespect probably has in his own life. Like
Oh yeah,
it's hard,
for sure.
it's hard faking something like that for an extended period of time. Like that, because Dr. Disrespect was created from him. Like I
Yeah.
mean, huge people like that would be like Soda Pop and Lyric, XQC, like people like that, even though you may not like their personality, there are thousands and thousands of other people that probably genuinely enjoy that type of personality,
Yeah.
and that it doesn't matter, because as long as you're you, you can just focus on the people that love you, and then any hater, it's just like they're in the background.
It's like
And then I would say like,
contagious.
yeah, and I would say the second probably major important thing would just be on time and be committed. Like
Mhm.
set a schedule. If it's an hour, if it's 2 hours, whatever time you can allot on a certain amount of days per week. It
Yeah.
only has to be 3. It could be 2. Like it does, but I would say shoot for like 3 days a week, 1 to 2 hours.
Exactly. Yeah.
But at the same time, those few days, and you just stick with it, and people will start to slowly
Mhm.
realize like, oh hey, this person's on at this time every night, and then if they like you, they'll just keep tuning in, and then the liking you just goes back to your personality. Like, so if
Exactly.
they like who you are and they want to see more of you, they know you're going to be on at this hour every on this day
Mm.
of this month, and they just know no matter what, so and so's on Monday night, and they really grow to love that. And then the third part is kind of going with the grow, but you just gotta always look for something small in your stream that you can improve.
Yeah.
Whether, and I'm not talking the big things like, oh, I need a whole new PC so I can stream
Yes.
at 1080p, 60 FPS.
Mhm.
No, I'm talking like, oh, something looks off in your camera. Let's fix that tonight. Or let's try to get a graphic underneath your stream. Let's try to make it nicer. And just always go through just even the small thing, like even your
Exactly.
bio. Make
Yeah.
sure your bio is cool. Like if someone reads that about you, make sure that if you read that, you would like it, and just kind
Exactly.
of, just slowly just build off of that. And then people always say like networking is the biggest, and I'm not going to knock networking,
Yeah.
but as long as you're just you just do the three other things, and then as you're streaming, you'll just get to know more people, and
Yep.
you'll get a snowball effect going of like if you're playing with somebody in your game, you come to be really good friends with them. So now you're running games with them all the time. You know, they don't even have to watch your stream, but just the fact that you're talking to somebody every stream now, that's going to grow your content even more. Because I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes it depends who you're playing with, but if you're playing with friends and stuff like that and you're going off of each other just doing banter and stuff, those are some of the best streams like as a
Yep.
viewer because there's just all those different personalities mixed up and it's just
Mhm.
super enjoyable. So I
Exactly.
mean
Yeah.
like so I a lot of people put the networking as like their number one, but I just feel like being yourself, stay committed, and just focus on improving your whole. I mean, it's kind of like a brand or personality or
Yeah.
whatever you're building around yourself. Just keep growing that and make it better so that someone always has something cool to come back to. Like,
Exactly.
and viewers notice that, people notice that, like they'll see like, "Oh, damn, you changed this today. That's awesome." And they'll people will notice you put in the work to make your stream better. If
Exactly.
like if someone watches your stream from a year ago and they come into your stream today and they don't see significant changes, then you're doing something wrong as a
Yeah.
streamer. Like
Yep.
there is stuff though that may always work, like a certain camera angle or whatever that you may always love, but there are generally a lot of things you can change within your setup on your actual stream, the interface with chat and all that
Yes.
that are free, and all they do is just take time and just a little bit of thought, and you just think about what you can change in your stream, and it'll just
Yeah.
slowly grow from there.
I think one huge thing is just interacting with the chat and making
Yeah.
sure that, especially how small you are, you don't have a lot of people coming in. So if someone says what's up, man, hit that guy with a what's up or how you doing or what's your day like or something like that. I feel like that even goes a long way because then you establish a kind of personal connection with that one person. So when you next see them,
Yeah.
like, oh, what's up, man? How you doing? Like, and you continue off of when the last time you saw them or talked to them again.
And I think that's huge too because there are specifically people that will just go into smaller streams just to talk to small
Yep.
streamers
Hmm.
for that specific reason.
Yeah.
And if you just ignore them or, like if you're just rude to them or whatever, like, I mean, you could rub them the wrong way and there goes a chance at a really lifelong viewer. Or, I mean, there are people that I met through Twitch that became legitimate real life friends of mine,
Yeah.
and like that's just something that you're missing out on. Like I just don't understand. I guess that's why I really didn't address it on the growing of the stream, but
Hmm.
why would you want to stream to an audience if you're not going to interact with that audience? Like
Exactly.
I see that like the fundamental thing for streaming is to connect with people in real time. So if you're ignoring that true key part of streaming, then I don't know. I would
I
just do
I
YouTube or
I think
something. Like I
I
really
think
don't.
the reason why people do that is because they think that, like you said like earlier, there's people that want to get it just for the money. So they
Yeah.
think they have to be above people in order to get what they want because they've seen like people like Summit, Doctor Disrespect not talk to the entire chat, but they only have time to talk to a certain amount of people.
Yeah.
So that's kind of
But
makes
that's
them choosy.
yeah, those are like that's like a whole different echelon.
Oh,
Like
that's a fuck ton, yeah.
if that's your problem, like like if you're trying to compare yourself to a Summit or something, like
Oh yeah,
you're wrong.
yeah,
Like Summit used to be interactive with this chat and stuff like that.
yeah.
Like these
Like, how do
these
you think he
streamers
got to where he
nowadays
was?
too. Like there's a reason that they have a strong community. It's not by just sitting there and looking at their monitor. Like
Yeah,
they put in the years and years it took to have a legitimate community, and then it just grew to something insane. But that's like I, I don't know.
yeah,
Unless you're a top level professional esport athlete, which I still
yes,
think you need to interact with your chat. But unless you're legitimately like the number one player in the world, you should be talking to your stream. Like
yeah,
there's no doubt you should be interacting with people because I mean
yeah,
they're giving time out of their day to watch you. I mean, give them a few seconds and talk to them back, and I don't know, be just be
yeah,
social.
yeah.
Like
Exactly. Well, I
it's a
honestly don't get
social
it. I
platform.
don't.
Like
It's incredible. I don't get it.
I do understand if they're talking to friends, that can be a little different, but I mean,
Mm,
there's still you can take a second, unmute the mic or have push to talk on and talk to
yeah,
your chat and the friends. But I mean,
yeah,
there are conversations with buddies where you might get a little like lost in the conversation. Next thing
Yeah.
you realize, you look over, you're missing like 5 messages. But
Yeah.
I mean, that should only be something that happens, every
Mhm.
now and again. That
Yeah,
shouldn't be
I just have a mute and a
I-
deaf button, so I just
yeah.
pause it out and then talk to them for a little bit. One thing that I've done that actually kind of works is the speeches I give. Like some
Oh
of
yeah.
those some of those I constantly get people telling me like, man, your speeches are fucking hilarious, keep them up and stuff like that. One thing I just think is that you need to just come up with something that like that you can put your signature on. Be like, this is what I do,
Yeah.
this is mine. And so like your dunk cam thing, I haven't seen anyone do that before. That's one thing you can just sign it off and do that. It's like
Hey,
it's just
1 second.
I
Sorry.
got you, bro. Don't worry. Hey, again, guys, I appreciate everyone tuning into the stream.
I'm back.
Fantastic.
Sorry,
Perfect.
I'm back.
No, you're good. You're good.
My
But
dogs were barking, and I was just making sure nobody was at the door.
no one's dying or nothing like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But one last thing, man. What was one thing that did you like that you wanted to do when you were a little kid? Did you want to become a famous gamer? Did you want to be a fighter when you grew up? Did you want to be a fireman? What was that one thing that made you just strive the next day to get to where you wanted to be?
Oh, man, see, there were a few different times in my like so I wanted whenever I was young, for some reason I wanted to be a teacher. That was like
Okay.
my thing. That was just it. But
Yeah.
as I got older and then I kind of found my passion for martial arts, it was like a goal of mine that I wanted to like in my mind think that like I was really competent in martial arts. Like,
Yeah.
like it was a at first it was like, oh, I wanted to become a master, at Taekwondo. But then I discovered the other martial arts, and then I'm like, oh no, I want to be really good at these. And
Yeah.
so I always had like medium to long term goals. I never had some crazy aspiration of like I want to be the president or I want to be an
Yeah.
astronaut. But
Yeah.
I've always had these hard kind of longer goals because I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, I was in martial arts for a long time. So I've always had like 5 to 10 year goals, but
Mhm.
I've never had anything like I've had back in my mind stuff like, I want to own a Lamborghini by the time I'm 30. I had one of
Okay.
those in high
There
school.
you go. Yeah.
Now it's I want to own a Tesla Roadster by the time I'm 30.
Yeah. The
You know what I mean?
Roadster. Yeah.
So like the actual goals themselves might change, but like the aspirations are still like there. Like I want to like I'm at a part of my life to where I'm looking for, financial success. And that's
Yeah.
something that I've now put a lot of time and effort into.
Mhm.
And, I pivoted careers now and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, it's like I'm at the point now to where I want to deal with my money and I want to set it up so I'm
Yeah.
set for long term. And that's
Mhm.
like my main overarching goal.
Yeah.
But I like streaming for fun, I
Yeah.
like having time with my fiance. I like just chilling at the house watching TV. So I like having just multiple hobbies, but like my main goal right now, financial success and then start having a
Exactly.
family with my
There you go.
fiance
Yep.
and then just kind of go down that road. Like just having a good family, like that's really like a stable environment for my future family
Yeah.
is literally like that's like my main goal now. Like I said, I never had like anything crazy, but
Yeah.
like I'm just at the point now in my life that I'm thinking long term now, and I just that's just something I just that's something I want. I want to be able to have done a lot of the hard work and still travel with my fiance now.
Mhm.
And then after that's done, I can still work and I can still provide a living. But the things I built over the last 10 years have made it to where I can send my kids to a good school and I can make sure if they ever want to play any sports or anything or do anything
Yeah.
like that whenever they're growing up, the money's there and
Exactly.
we don't have to worry about a single thing in that aspect. And that's really like that's my main thing. That's it.
That's
Mhm.
fantastic. All right. Well, is there one last thing you want to tell everyone before we get off and get it done for the rest of the day, man? One thing that just
Just
like keeps you motivated.
keeps me motivated.
Yeah.
Man, there's a few. I honestly I would just say just the things that keep me motivated are the successes that have led me up to right now, you know, like
Yeah.
that, like the difficulties that I've faced before, and like hardships that I've dealt with in my life, that where I've been at low points before, like getting out of those low points and seeing like the actual good in life, and like what, like how there's nothing in this life that goes really according to plan, and I've learned that
Exactly.
really quick. And
Yep.
just kind of just enjoy what's in front of you. Like whenever you invited me to this podcast, I was just like, yeah, that sounds cool, man. I'd
Let's
love to
fucking
get to know
send it.
Mike. Like, you know,
There you
like
go.
let's
Yeah.
go, dude. Like, I don't know. I just like just trying different things, and just being
That's
just
how it is.
doing things. Like, I
That's
don't
how
know,
it is,
like
baby.
just doing things. But
That's
yeah, man,
perfect.
thanks for the podcast, bro. It
No,
was
I
really
appreciate you
cool.
coming on,
Like,
man. I
this
really
was-
do
this was a
appreciate
fun
it.
time, man.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
really
you
do
have a good
appreciate it,
one.
man. All right,
And I'll
everyone.
see you.
That was
Peace.
AntKiller, ladies and gentlemen.